Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to complete a resume just using Microsoft Word with our extra credit resume assignment. So on Microsoft Teams, if you click on your period, you should see a couple things here. First, the resume planning guide should appear. This one you need to complete first if you want to get the extra credit to do this assignment, because the information that you put on this planning guide is crucial for you to actually complete the extra credit. So make sure you do that first. There is a separate video about that, but for right now, let's just go to the extra credit assignment. So this is for a chance to raise your grade for up to 50 points of extra credit, which Lord knows some of you need. In this extra credit assignment, basically you are turning your resume planning guide into a professional, sleek looking resume. You're showing off your graphic design skills, you're figuring out how to put it in the most professional light possible. And this is a document that hopefully you can go through and edit and use for your future reference. And actually, it can be a document that stays with you from high school onward. So there are a lot of great resources online. There are free templates on Microsoft Word. That's what I'll be showing you how to do. But there's also a few other ways that you can do this. So I'm going to try to show you a couple different methods for how to actually turn this resume planning guide into an official resume. So the first thing that you're going to want to have out next to you is this resume planning guide that you created in the last assignment. All of the stuff that's highlighted in yellow is my examples that I'm basically going to copy and paste into whatever resume generator I use. So let's say that you want to use resumegenius.com to make a resume. So you can do it that way, but just letting you know there might be some steps. You're going to have to create a login. And I haven't gone through the whole set of steps, so I don't know if it's free to download at the end. There are several resume creators online that say that they give you free resumes, but I know there's always a catch to it. You might have to download the Pro Edition or whatever. So that's not a guarantee to make a free resume, although it is a lot easier. What I'm going to show you guys how to do is create a Microsoft Word template that can be just as professional looking. You just might have to do some more work on your own to make it look good. So I'm going to just open up this document that says resume instructions, and it'll show you a step-by-step guide. So I've got a whole step-by-step guide here. You're already logged in, hopefully, to your Office 365. What I'm basically going to show you is how to go from office.com to go to Word, find a resume template, and then put all the content on there. So I'm going to open up a new tab and just go to office.com to the home page, and hopefully you're already logged in. You're going to go to Microsoft Word, and you see that there are several different kinds of things you could open up besides just a blank document. Go to More Templates, and you're going to want to go down and find anything that says the word resume. Don't put anything that says resume and cover letter, just resume. So I'm going to find kind of the one that looks the nicest to me. There's resume green, blue sky resume, that looks pretty, polished resume. And if you want to explore more, you can go down there. But I'm just going to include this one because it looks nice to me. Now, of course, when you create a new document, always go up and change the name so you can find it again. So I'm just going to say Miss Thies resume, so I know what it's going to be if I look for it again. And then basically you're going to highlight everything that it has on here and replace it with your information. So I'm going to go back to my resume planning guide, and all the information that I put in the header, I'm going to put over here. So you click on where it says your name, and I just put my full, my full name, profession or industry. You don't have to do that. What I would do instead is include your address, phone number, and email. So I would put, my quote-unquote address. For some reason, it doesn't like backspacing. It might be kind of glitchy, it's okay. And then I'm going to put my number. Okay. And then if you want to put an email address and it doesn't let you, you can put a line there. Instead of the slash, you can put shift slash, and then it'll give that little line. And put your email. Please put your school email because, of course, it looks more professional. Okay. So you see how basically I'm replacing all this stuff with my information. And of course, my initials aren't YN, they're CT. So replace everything on here with yours. For objective, that's where I go back here and I basically copy and paste. So obtain a career as an English teacher. And so I click on that and I just type. Okay, so you could either do objective or you could do this whole fancy summary. It's up to you. I'm just going to make it simple. For experience, again, I'm going to go down, and these are a little bit out of order, but that's okay. You can always put them in a different order. I'm going to replace all the information on there with my most recent experience. So for job title, I'm going to put substitute. And again, make sure you spell everything correctly. For company, I'm going to put the high school district. Instead of that, let's just do D. Dates from and to, I'm just going to put the years. So 2012 to 2015. And now for the key responsibilities, summarize your key responsibilities, leadership, and most stellar accomplishments. Don't list everything. Keep it relevant and include data that shows the impact that you made. For mine, I just put 3 bullet points. And so what I'm going to do is basically copy and paste those bullet points over here. I know that it's not going to let you because for some reason on this app it won't let you do that. But you can open up the Microsoft Word and you can copy and paste it. Okay, so you copy and paste all your information. Please put bullet points instead of big paragraphs because your employer isn't going to want to read a giant paragraph. They're going to want to read really quick summaries. For skills, again, I would like you to make a list. You can put things like active listening. You can put reading comprehension, smartboard, psychology, linguistic, classroom management, all those different skills. I'm going to list them in bullet points here. For education, the one thing I forgot to mention is for experience and education, you put the most recent first. So you put the most recent job was substitute teacher. The job after that I had was server at the Elks Lodge, and that was from 2012. So you always have to put the most recent one first. The same thing for education. So you're going to put the most recent first. If you put Bakersfield College or CSUB, I'm going to put my bachelor's degree. And date earned was 2012. Oh, and look at that, I messed up. Under degree, I'm actually going to put bachelor's degree. And for school, I put UC Santa Barbara. And then underneath that, you can put, I have a GPA of 3.5, and I have, let's see what other things I put under here. I majored in psychology. I took developmental and educational psychology. Anything that's related to the job that you want to have, you put it here. And then the next one is going to be high school diploma. Date earned from me, that was 2008. And the school, my school is Delano High School. Okay, and make sure you spell out the name because of course they're not going to know what DHS or CCHS is. And then of course you highlight over it and you can say, I got a 3.9 GPA, I took AP English Literature, whatever is relevant to the job that you want. And then the very last thing here, they already have this volunteer leadership or experience. And this is where you're going to put the last section on your resume planning guide. And you get to just choose one. You can choose any accomplishment here, like I got honor roll for 8 semesters, or extracurricular activities. I was a photographer and staff writer on my class high school newspaper. Those are things that you can put under here in just a general category. And I would format it something like this. If I'm going to say, let's just go with, I was a photographer on my school newspaper. I would format it exactly like I have here. Put the title, a dash or a line, and then the place, and then the years. So I would highlight this, photographer / staff writer. I'm going to put fancy line. School live wire. And then I'm going to put 2008, which I was a member. Or I can put 2007 to 2008. Now, if for some reason it goes on a different line like that, we can always fix the formatting later, okay? So let's just put that one, and I put honor. Honor roll is not actually volunteer or leadership or experience. I'm going to put, I'm going to make sure that I put the most recent one first, so I'm actually going to put that one last. I'm going to say president of the group. Okay, and so now it's in the same format. You put the goal, the place. Yeah, sorry, you put the title of your organization. You put the place and you put the year. Okay, so those are the 3 big categories. And then after that, I can actually see here. Since I put this information up here instead, you can actually delete these from the bottom, or since I kind of messed up, you can actually put this underneath. You can say, since I don't have a Twitter handle, I can delete that one. Telephone, again, I can put it down here. Or instead of LinkedIn URL, you know, since I put this on the header already, I'm just going to delete this information. You can keep it if you like, but I'm going to delete it since I already put it once and it feels redundant to put it twice. And now, see, I have all this other information here. And all this other space that I can fill it with. So I can add a little bit more information here, or I can add more skills to the list so there's not a whole bunch of blank space. The thing that you want to avoid is having like too much white space on the page like this, because then it feels like you don't have enough. And you also want to avoid it spilling over to the next page. So you can feel free to add and subtract enough that it fits on one page and it looks clean. So I'm going to go back here to the instructions. When you finish putting all the necessary information here, you have to format it to look clean and professional. You make it visually appealing, easy to read font. So you're not going to go and change this experience section to like some weird Algerian font or some crazy script like this, because you might think it looks fancy, but then that's just your employers like squinting and trying to figure out how to read that, where it's not actually professional looking. You might think it looks cool and fancy, but it's actually not doing you any favors. You want it to look clean and easy to read. They want to be able to glance at your paper and understand who you are, just basically at one glance. They don't want to spend any longer than a few seconds looking at each person. Make sure that it is clear spacing. So if you have awkward gaps like this, you might want to flesh out the objective more. You might want to list a whole bunch more skills. You might want to include more details for